What's up, man? Let me tell you something about Big Stretch and Tupac. Let's dive right into it. Let's know the truth. This is gonna hurt some people's feelings, but we're gonna get straight to it. Because we do know Stretch was being very shady, but nobody wanna hear that. They don't wanna see the evidence and nothing like that. But we gonna show it to them, man, because we all about it, bro. Just stay tuned and enjoy the show right here, yo.
Yeah, I believe everything you're saying, man. Because I remember it's an audio, man. It's an audio that's been online for a few years now, a Stretch. And, you know, he talking a little spicy about Pac, man, getting shot at Quad. So,
I didn't hear that.
yeah, I got to send you that, man. Actually, let me see if I can find it right quick while we do this interview for you can see it. Yeah, you got to hear this, man. Dude was talking crazy, man.
What was he saying?
Oh, man. I mean, he was just talking crazy, man. I mean, let me see if I can find this right quick for you can hear it.
Bro, I'm going to tell you like this. Like, when Pop first got shot, I remember he was on, I said it before, when he was on Jazzman, a guy couch, and Big Stretch came to him. This was awkward for me, bro, because I'm fresh off the block. I'm fresh from the ghetto, like from Irvington, New Jersey, straight to hanging around Pop. So I already know how people move, you know what I mean? So when he came and said, Jimmy Henchman, I remember like yesterday, Jimmy Henchman said, you don't want to go to war because you don't got your money right. And I'm looking like him. I'm the only one that said, how do a friend bring this message to a friend? Like, you know what I mean? So that felt awkward to me. Like, you know, I'm not going to tell my man this dude said that. I'm going to be like, no, like, how you comfortable to send me that message to take the Pop? You know what I mean? You supposed to say, no, this message ain't going to Pop. We want war, for example. So that was awkward because I heard it. You know, I'm young and I'm peeping everything. So when he said Jimmy Henchman say, and that's why Pac said on that song, now I got my money right, I want war. Because of that. You know what I mean? You know, he said you don't got your money right, you don't want to go to war.
Found it.
You sent it?
Got it right here. Listen to this right here. And this is Stretch talking, so this is not me putting words in his mouth. But yeah, man, dude talking crazy, man. Listen to it.
Listen to it right now.
Get around the corner and shit, we see this nigga standing in front of the studio room with a army fatigue jacket on. There's somebody sitting inside the door where the elevators and shit is at, and he looking at a newspaper or something. So boom, they buzz us in, and the kid that was standing in front of the studio, he comes in behind us. Some people get off the elevator and walk out. As soon as they walk out, Money with the army fatigue and this other, and the kid that was sitting there, they spit on us like, yo, y'all know what this is. These niggas got the drop on us. So boom, Pop turns around and he act like he's going for his joint. And then the shot went off. After the shot, boom, that nigga Pop hit the floor. Next thing I know, we down on the ground. After the shot gone, some niggas panic and break out. Them niggas stayed there and took niggas' jewels off. Calling Pac a bitch ass nigga or whatever, you know, just kicking him and shit. That kid with the green jacket just started hitting that nigga in the head with the joint, telling that nigga to shut up. After they finished robbing nigga, they just jetted. Tupac got shot trying to go for his gun or whatever. He made a mistake on his own. He did something to his motherfucker. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him a chance to tell the world what he did to his motherfucking self.
Okay, let me interject, guys, right now. So you heard Big Stretch on the audio. Let me tell you something right now. That's insane what Big Stretch said, how he said it in a way, trying to make it like Tupac, he's a punk in some way. But my thing is this, but hold on here, but where was you at? This is what we're going to do. Before anything, let's go and see what Tupac said, because Tupac actually, he made a statement in an interview. Let's go check it out. So right here, this is what we're reading right now. Now, let me go back up. In a jailhouse right here, in a jailhouse interview published in April, Tupac discussed the November shooting and Stretch. Incidentally, 6'8". So now he's referring to Stretch. I was like, what should I do? I'm thinking Stretch is going to fight. He was towering over those dudes. For what I know about the criminal element, if dudes come to rob you, they always hit the big dude first, but they didn't touch Stretch. They came straight to me. See, this is interesting, guys, because there's an element that's missing. You're hearing one side of the story from Stretch, but the other side is from Tupac, right? All right, let's just keep going. All right, so let's just read this in his interview that Tupac said it, where he's reflecting. Now, this is interesting. You hear how Stretch, he's talking, the tone about Tupac. Now, let's just see the relationship that Tupac had with Stretch. So, Tupac, he's reflecting and he's saying, Stretch was my closest dog, my closest homie. I did a lot of drama. I got into a lot of cases and stuff because of Stretch. Money-wise, he could have had anything. His daughter was my daughter. Whatever she wanted, she could have. And then this thing happened, and the dude didn't ride for me. He didn't do what your dog is supposed to do when you get shot up. When I was in jail, he never wrote to me, never got at me. His homeboys was coming to see me, and his homeboys was coming to see me, and he wasn't coming to see me. And he started hanging around Biggie right after this. I'm in jail, shot up, his main dog, and he's hanging out, going to shows with Biggie. Both them dudes never came to see me. Wow. Okay, let's go back to the video here.
So they try to say he shot himself.
You hear that, man? You hear the hate and disdain in his voice, yo?
Yeah, that's why I said it was strange. So probably that's why Pac, you know what I mean, did what he had to do. But it's strange when you have, you know, somebody that close to you. And that, because one thing about Pac, when he loves someone, he's loyal. You understand? Like, he go all out. So it's sad that even hearing that, it sounds like he didn't have no love for him. But you know what I mean? So you never know. I don't put these things, like I told you, the person who killed my mother and father was my godfather. He sat me on his lap, pushed me off the lap and started shooting. So I don't get surprised when I hear these type of things. You know what I mean? It's an unfortunate situation when you trust somebody and then this happened to you, but you know what I mean? So it's sad, you know what I mean? Seeing like everything is adding up and, you know, you hearing the tone of his voice.
On the Tupac song, I Ain't Mad at You.
Yeah.
There's a rumor that's actually about you. Are
Nah,
you a
nah,
Muslim now? No more dope game?
Everybody say this, man, I get that question a lot, but Pac, when he did that song, I wasn't Muslim then.
Okay,
you
so
know what I
there
mean?
you go.
I wasn't Muslim then, and I remember Pac speaking about who he was talking about in that song. I remember he mentioned to us that there's pretty much stuff you see in the hood. You know, it might not be that rampant on the West Coast, but on the East Coast, New Jersey, New York, and Philly, we always see like the big homies going to prison and coming back Muslim, and majority of them change, you know what I mean? The ones who take it serious change to be more peaceful. So I think he just was like, these are the things you see in the hood, I'm gonna put it in the song. That's how Pac was.
Yeah, and come to think of it, Pac was supposed to play the Muslim character in Menace to Society.
Yes.
Until it didn't
Yes.
quite work out that way.
It didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way.
But were you around him during that time?
I was around, I think I met Pac, I would say 92, 93. The first time that I met him. So I'm not sure exactly. I remember hearing situations about that, you know, and Pac didn't want to play, I guess, like a gangster Muslim, you know. You know, Pac had he have aunties and cousins and uncles that are Muslim. So he knew, you know, there's no such thing as a gangster Muslim. Unfortunately, you have some Muslims who want to be gangsters, but if you practice your religion, it would take you away from that lifestyle.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Now, I watched your documentary.
You did?
I
Okay.
did. I did. We haven't talked about it, but
Yeah.
I watched all the way through.
Okay.
And I believe last time we talked, you talked about how these guys went into your house and ended up killing your parents
Yes.
in front of you and your brothers?
My brothers, yes.
Two brothers?
Two brothers, yes.
Right.
Yes.
What I didn't realize until watching the documentary was that after that happened, the three kids were with your parents' dead bodies for like 2 or 3 days or something?
For a whole day, yes.
For a whole day.
Maybe a day and a half. You know, the people that came into the house, they was pretty much friends with my father. They grew up with my father.
Yeah.
And they used to spend the night at my grandmother's house. You understand? One day they came in as if it was a normal visit, took out weapons, killed my father, shot him in the chest one time. Instantly he died. My mother, she was pretty much, you know, and this let me realize the power and the strength of a mother when it comes to protect their children. my mother, she was running around the house grabbing me and my brothers. They shot her 13 times before she passed away. You know, but she was able to protect us. You know, she hid in the bathroom. Then my little brother, he was only 6 months, she hid him in the drawer, the dresser, cracked the dresser, you know. And me and my other brother, you know, by the permission of God, she was able to save us, you know, protect us.
And she was shot 13 times.
13 times before
trying to save her three
trying
kids.
to save her kids, yeah.
That's horrible, man.
Yeah, this is unfortunately,
that's
you
horrible.
know.
And, you know, and I kind of feel myself sort of tearing up hearing the story. And I guess when you first met Tupac, you told him the same story, and Tupac...
He started crying. He started crying. And I was shocked, because when I first met Pac, I thought, you know, we hear the rumors. He already put out the record strictly for my NIGGAZ, you know? And so when I told him the story, he started crying. No one really ever reacted over the story of the death of my parents like that. You know, growing up, I grew up in Irvington and Newark, New Jersey, which is a very violent cities, you know. So when I tell other friends, I had many friends who didn't have a father or didn't have a mother in the household, so it was kind of normal. But when I told Pac, he started crying, and he was the first one to react like that, you know. And I was shocked of his reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And after hearing the story, he took you in.
He pretty much took me in, you know what I mean? He pretty much said, man, his words was, I got you, we're gonna make it happen. And I ran into different rappers before that, because at that particular time, I was looking to get into the music industry, and I ran into certain rappers before, I don't even have to mention their name, and all of them would say things, and no one came through. So I thought Pac was similar to these other artists, you know?
Yeah.
One day I get a phone call. Pac was in New York City working on Me Against the World. And he called, he said, look, I'm doing my album, Me Against the World, I want you on a song. And I was shocked, like, wow, me, you serious? Hopped on the train, went back. No, a few friends took me to New York City, and that's the first record that I ever appeared on, was the Me Against the World record, Outlaw song. So he was a man of his word, you know what I mean? He was a man of his word.
After that, you started rolling with Tupac and the Outlaws?
I started rolling with Pac. We wasn't the Outlaws then, you know. I started rolling with Pac. I always wanted to be a solo artist. So when I met Pac, I kept saying, I want to be Little Moo, you know. And he decided to put a rap group. At first, we was called the Young Thugs. It was me, Edie, Castro, and Gaddafi.
The Young Thugs.
The Young Thugs, you know what I mean?
Wow, that is, hearing that right now with, you know, a big artist named Young Thug.
Yeah, it's true.
You guys were going to be the Young Thugs.
We was a group called the Young Thugs at first, you know what I mean? And then,
oh, wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah, that was like 92, 93, you know what I mean? And then he changed the name to Dramacidal. You know, he said, matter of fact, I want to call you guys Dramacidal. And that particular time, it was me, Edie, and Castro. I think Gaddafi went back to New Jersey and got in some trouble. So he didn't record. We signed a record deal with Interscope. And when he went to prison, that's when he decided to make the group Outlaws, or Outlaw Immortals.
Okay.
Yeah.
And why were you Napoleon?
Napoleon, man, because I used to have a real bad temper, very fiery temper, very, you know, angry. You know, Pac used to joke and say I got the short man complex or the Napoleonic complex, so he gave me the name Napoleon.
Well, I mean, Tupac was pretty short also.
Yeah, but he was taller than me.
Oh, okay. How tall are you?
I'm about, man, what I would say about 5'9", 5'10", or something like that, you know, if I'm not mistaken, yeah.
Wait, you're 5? Wait.
I think Pac was about 5'11", I would think.
5'11"?
I think,
Okay.
you know what I mean? So I'm about 5'9", 5'9".
Okay.
I think, man, I don't want to be shorter than what I'm supposed to be.
Right.
I got to edit that out.
So Pac gave you the name Napoleon.
Yes.
But your nickname was still Lil Moo.
My nickname, even though he gave us the name Napoleon, he still, and pretty much everybody called me Moo, even to this day, you know?
And he mentioned, right, because you got mentioned in Hit 'Em Up.
Yeah, by Fatal, yeah.
Yeah. He said, well, Lil Moo passed
Little Moo passed the Mac.
Mac.
Yeah, for sure.
And were you rolling around with Max back then?
You know, we definitely was, I'm not gonna lie, man, we never left the house without being strapped with some type of weapon, you know what I mean? We always had, it was always someone else, that was the rule, that it was always someone with us that had to have a gun. You know, Pac would make sure one of us was strapped at all times, you know?
Well, you had the, you know, on Tupac's Life of an Outlaw,
Yes,
there was like that one part
yes,
where he said, you know, Napoleon, what up?
Will you die for me?
And you say,
I said, yeah, heck yeah. Will you kill for me? I said, on my grandmother. My grandmother just passed away, you know what I mean? So it was like, she just died, and Pac like, man, you got to come back. I'm almost finished my album. I
Okay.
wanted to stay in Jersey. He's like, no, I'm sending you an airline ticket, come back. So when I got back, when he did that song, it was emotional song for me, you know what I mean?
well, I mean, when you say, you know, would you kill for me? You say, hell yeah. I mean, I kind of feel you know, that wasn't just a lyric.
Of
Like
course
I
not,
really
yeah.
feel at that time when you were in that booth, you really were ready to kill and die for
Of
Tupac.
course, man. Pac, I was loyal, you know what I mean? I always been that. He was an individual that took me out of the hood. He was a person that, he used to take care of my grandparents, you know, send them gifts and stuff like that. That's how Pac was. The first time that I ever performed in Las Vegas with him at 6662, he surprised my grandfather, flown way out there to come, you know what I mean? So he, not only did he help me, he used to help my family a lot. So I was the type of individual, I looked at him like a big brother, a family member, you know? So if he was in harm's way, at that particular time, of course, I put my life, many times I jumped out. And Pac used to say, Moo, you have to chill because you're in Los Angeles now, and you jumping out on people's cars, they will kill you. You know, I remember one time we was at a light and some cats was rolling up and they was mouthing off, and we was in Pac convertible. He had the Rolls Royce at that particular time, convertible. Okay. And Pac, I seen it in his eyes, he was distressed, like, again? Like they rolled up and they was like, you a buster, Pac. And you know, Pac, he not gonna back down, but it come a point in your life where you're like, man, I'm tired of confrontations, you know what I mean?
So you're saying that rolling around LA, if you're talking about the Rolls Royce, this is probably the height of, this is like All Eyes on Me, Tupac?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're talking about All Eyes on Me, Tupac is rolling around in LA. If you're talking about the Rolls Royce, this is probably the height of, this is like All Eyes on Me, Tupac?
Yeah, for sure.
So you're talking about All Eyes on Me, Tupac is rolling around in LA in a Rolls Royce, and people are rolling up and talking shit?
Yeah, you
like,
had
for
people.
real?
Yeah, you got a lot of ignorant folks out there. You know what I mean? You got people that want to test you all the time. You know, so Pac, I remember we was at a light on Wilshire Boulevard, leaving his house. He had a condo. He had like a flat there. You know, we were leaving. A car rolled up, and I remember clearly they was from the Bay Area because they was yelling out Vallejo. You know, they was yelling out, "We Vallejo, homie. You a buster, this and this and that." And Pac, he was like, man, even though we had security a couple cars behind, you know, Pac was like, okay, meet me at the light. You know what I mean? See, Pac was the type of person, he not gonna back down. He's like, come to the next light, pull over. Or to the corner, something like that. But I seen it in Pac's face. He don't got time for this stuff. You understand? He trying to be, you know, he's an artist. He's selling millions of records, and you coming at him with this stuff. He don't really got time for this. And I seen that look, you know? And I was in the back seat of the car, and I'm like, I'm itching. And I couldn't take it no more. The next light, I jumped out, ran to the car, smack, ran to the other car, and the guys went from tough macho men to, okay, Pac, get your little homie. You know what I mean? And I don't know what, it just clicked.
Wait, so you just slapped him with your hand?
I slapped him with my hand, went to the other guy, did some other things to him, you know? And Pac was like, later on, he's like, man, never do that again because this is LA. You jumping out on people, you'll get shot. Yeah. And I never even looked at it like that. You know, I was just a young kid who was wild. You know, I just seen him pushing up on Pac, and I just couldn't take it no more. But you know, these are the young days, man.
Did you have a pistol on you at the time?
I don't believe so. No, I didn't have a pistol. Yeah.
So you just went in.
Yeah, I just went in and
hoping for the best.
Hoping for the best, man. Which was I would say stupidity. You know what I mean? Knowing that, you know, people get their lives taken like that every single day, especially out here in LA. You know, but I was a young cat that really didn't. I would act first and didn't think later.
So here we have two stories in one. I wanted to emphasize on Big Stretch and the amount of dishonor that was placed against Tupac and how Napoleon felt about it. And also the second thing was Napoleon's parents that he talked about. I wanted to really broadcast that to showcase what happened, if you didn't know, with his parents. And also to highlight the level of love Tupac had for Napoleon and his parents who died, and the compassion Tupac had, and just the lifestyle and the relationship that they both had. Even though Napoleon, he was young, I just wanted to highlight that. So you guys let me know. I know it's a two-part thing going on, so let me know how you feel about Big Stretch and that conversation and the tone and how he how his demeanor was talking about the incident with Tupac. It doesn't sound to me, in my personal opinion, that is a true homie. It sounded like Big Stretch was pretty much bragging that, oh, this is what happened to Tupac. But the thing with Big Stretch, aka Randy Walker, is that so he was there with Tupac. So what were you doing? You're explaining what they did to him, and that he tried to reach for his gun, or he pump faked for the gun. But it's kind of stupid to highlight it like that. Obviously, if someone's trying to rob you, I mean, there's only two options you could do. You either could let them rob you, or don't let them rob you. And of course, Tupac, he always had two double, Glocks on him, or he had Glocks on him, and obviously he's gonna reach for it. So what's the problem with that? Like I don't understand. So it sounded like Stretch was telling the story in a sense of like, Tupac, you should have just accepted getting robbed. Maybe that was the original plan that Big Stretch he probably knew about. Cause it sounds weird to me. I don't know. You guys let me know how you guys think. But in my opinion, when I'm listening, that's what I get from it. And then also the whole thing about, did Tupac really get shot for the 4 times or 5 times at Quad Studios? That's crazy to me. It just sounds like Tupac was right about Big Stretch. And then Big Stretch, he didn't want to see him in the hospital. I don't know. This is just like one side of it, but it seems a little bit shaky. And also Big Stretch sending the message to Pac too about get your money right. That also is questionable as well too. So anyways, you guys let me know what you guys think.